Alright, sorry if this is really dark, but this is kind of like at the weird point of the day where it's getting darker, but not dark enough for me to actually turn on the light, so you're just gonna have to deal with it. This is gonna be a review. This is the second time I've recorded this review. It turned out that that review had no sound, so I don't have it right now, but I'll try to remember my original thoughts on it, but I still remember it pretty well, so this is probably gonna be really quick. So the book that I'm reviewing is The Dirt on Clean and Unsanitized History by Katherine Ashenberg. And this book was published by Knopf Canada in 2007. It has 368 pages and it has 926 ratings on Goodreads. This book is nonfiction and it goes in through the history of cleanliness, or at least cleanliness in the western part of the world. I felt it was kind of misleading where I thought it was going to be the history of cleanliness across more than a few cultures, but this book is primarily centered on Western culture. So it starts off with Roman cleanliness and the idea of what constituted as a bath and what the ideas of what it meant to be clean, was it desirable to be clean, and what that was supposed to say about your social status, your character, and if you were manly or womanly. And then it goes into how they felt about it in terms of health, and for quite a long time people thought that bathing yourself and putting water on yourself was opening yourself to disease and illnesses. And then it just goes through the ages of how the whole idea of cleanliness kind of got latched on to by companies to make money, and how some of those ideas have actually contributed to what we think of cleanliness today. And this book was okay. My biggest complaint about it is that it is very Western centric, and like if you want to have read a little bit about, you know, the Japanese bathhouses or idea of cleanliness in the Middle East, ideas of cleanliness in North America by the natives or in Africa or any other type of thing, you're not going to really see it unless it's from an account of a Western person going to those cultures and just their quick opinion on it, but then they go back. But that is all you hear about cleanliness in terms of other cultures other than Western culture. And then the second complaint I guess I have, or second criticism I have of it, is that it didn't really have too much information that I didn't know. A lot of the stuff is kind of, it's not really of an in-depth microhistory as I expected it to be. It didn't really dwell too much on information that was new or surprising to me. It was just kind of really cursory, just kind of floated on the top of the subject in my opinion. And it had a lot of pictures with a few paragraphs underneath that picture relating just to that picture that wasn't necessarily related to the main portion of the text. And because it wasn't that related, it just seemed like something extra. I kind of didn't feel all that compelled or interested in reading those little paragraphs because they didn't necessarily contribute too much to the book. The typography was pretty good, but in general, I mean, this book wasn't really as in-depth as I wanted it to be. It wasn't a complete history, and so I ended up giving it a 3 out of 5 stars. It was alright if you just want a quick view of the history of cleanliness in the Western world. It's good for that, but it's not a complete history of cleanliness at all by any means. It's only a history of like a very limited amount of people in the world. Yeah, that was my review. Really quick and dirty. Puns. It's fun. But yeah, 3 out of 5 stars. That's all I felt about it. So I hope you like that review and I hope you have a good day. Bye!